Hello students, welcome to your digital classroom. In today's session, we will be discussing about electric current and its effects. Now children, electricity and electric current is not something new to you, right? In your previous class as well, you have studied about it. We had discussed what is electricity, how is electricity passed in an electric circuit, what are the different components of an electric circuit, what is a cell and how does it work, right? So let us recall all of that for now. Now the first thing that we will be dealing with is the symbols of an electric components. So for the symbols, last year also we have dealt with that electric cell is represented by this symbol, and then an electric bulb is represented by this symbol, and for showing a switch in an on position we use this symbol, and for showing the switch in an off position we use this symbol, and for a battery we use a combination of multiple cells, and a plain line is used for representing our connecting wire. Now children, again if you would have to recall about how a cell looks like, a cell has got a metal cap on it, which is the positive terminal, and a metallic disc on the other side, which forms the negative terminal. This is how the cell has got two terminals towards it, right? And inside the cell is some form of chemical present, which actually will help in generation of electrical energy. Now if you place multiple cells together, it leads to the formation of a battery, right? So a battery can be called as a combination of two or more cells. Now children, this is a cell holder, and this is a kind of cell holder that you must have seen in your toys or in your remote or places like that. Now moving further children, let's just discuss what is an electric circuit. So an electric circuit is actually a closed path in which the current flows, and the current flows from the positive end to the negative end, the cell. Now children, this is an electric circuit, and this is a circuit diagram of the electric circuit that is shown here. Now what is a circuit diagram? Circuit diagram is representing the flow of an electric current, or how is the circuit working, with the help of the symbols that we had studied earlier. So here you can see the bulb is glowing, the circuit is complete, the switch is in on position. So here also a cell is present, the switch is in on position, and the bulb is glowing. So this is the symbol for a glowing bulb. Now for showing a circuit which is in off position will be this diagram. You can see the switch is off and the bulb is not glowing. Now children, when we are moving further in this chapter, we need to know about heating effect of an electric current. Now what happens, when you switch on a bulb, when you switch on a button, the bulb tends to glow. Now what is the thing responsible for that? Actually in the bulb there is a thin wire which is called a filament, and now this filament, when current passes through it, this filament actually becomes red hot and it tends to glow. That is what happens, and that is helps the bulb to glow. Again I shall repeat it for you. So what happens is that the bulb has got a filament, a very thin wire to it, which actually tends to glow, which actually tends to become red hot when the current is passed through it, and since it becomes red hot, it helps the bulb to glow. So this is actually the principle of heating effect of electric current. Actually what you will observe, that whenever you touch the bulb also becomes hot. So why is that? Because the filament has now got the current in it, and it has become red hot, and it has generated a bit of heat also, and that is why we say heating effect of electric current. Now for this heating effect of electric current, it is applicable for many appliances like your heater, like your iron, like you can see this instrument also here. So it is applicable in multiple appliances like heaters, hot plates, irons, geysers, electric kettles, hair dryers. So all of them have got an element in it. I have got a coil of wire which is called an element, which actually will become red hot when the current will pass through it, and this red hot will actually help the appliance to probably produce light or heat in some form. So that is why we say heating effect of an electric current. Now it's not necessary children that you will be able to see this coil of wire. Like for example, if I talk about the geyser, it's not necessary that you will be able to see it, because sometimes they lie beneath a metallic sheet or somewhere there, right? So that is actually how they operate. Now, like I said, mentioned earlier also, that it has got a thin filament. So you can see the thin filament here. This filament will actually become red hot when the current will pass through it, and will give heat also. Now the amount of heat that is produced by this wire, by this thin wire, actually depends on its material, the length of the wire, and the thickness of the wire. See, okay, so the amount of heat produced by the wire will depend on its material, length, and the thickness of the wire. Now the wires used for making electric circuits do not normally become hot. Like you can see that the connecting wires that you have in your electric circuit, they do not actually become generally hot. Only the wires that are present inside these appliances become hot, and they are clearly visible. So what about the rest of the wires? See, the rest of the wires have got insulation in them, and they will not necessarily become hot. In case they become hot, they can cause severe burns and short circuiting, right? It can lead to fire. So in that case, we again use a safety device, which is this fuse. Now what happens in this fuse is, again, which is made up of a wire. It has got a thin wire in it, and what will happen when an excessive current will flow through the circuit, this fuse that is present inside the circuit, its wire will melt. That will actually eventually break the circuit, and since the circuit will break, no more electric current will pass through it. So that is why fuse is used as an electric safety device. So how does it operates, children? What happens is, when we know that in case excessive current flows through the circuit, if an excessive current will flow through the circuit, what will happen is, eventually the wires will melt, and it may lead to fires and short circuiting. So to prevent that, we use fuses. Now a fuse, what will happen when the excessive current will pass, this fuse will the wire of this fuse will actually melt, and since the wire will melt, it will actually break the circuit, break the flow of current. So when the flow of current will be broken, no more electric current will be passed, and eventually short circuit will not take place. Now what is the disadvantage of this fuse that we have? See, this fuse actually, we need to replace it again and again. Once the wire has melted, it is no longer operational, it can no longer work. So we have to replace the fuse again and again. So in order to not to do it, we have rediscovered a new appliance, which is called the MCBs. Now MCBs are miniature circuit breakers. This is an MCB. You must have seen it at your home, in your air conditioners or in your main power supply area. So what happens here is, whenever excessive current will flow, this MCB will actually eventually automatically turn off, right? So when it will turn off, you just have to put it back in on position for it to work it again. Unlike fuse, for the fuse we had to replace the entire fuse. Here you just need to put it in on position, and that is it, right? So this is how an MCB works. So these things actually are students dependent upon the heating effect of electric current. Now other than heating effect of electric current, we also have magnetic effect of electric current. Now what happens is, children, that you just have to do an experiment. You just take a compass needle and put a magnet near it. So you must be aware what is a compass needle. So you put a magnet near it, and now what will happen is that this compass needle will show some kind of deflection. It will actually move from its position, right? Now what you have to do, you have to place this compass needle in a circuit, in an electric circuit. And now when you switch on the circuit, and when the current will pass through the circuit, you will observe again a deflection here. So since a deflection was observed when we placed a magnet near it, and since a deflection was observed when the current was passed through this wire, so likewise we can say, when the current is passed through an electric wire, it tends to behave like a magnet. Now this thing was first observed by Hans Christian Oersted. Now he was the first person to observe the deflection of compass needle every time the current was passed through the wire. So that is why we can conclude that an electric wire tends to behave like a magnet. Now you can also try out an experiment for the same. You have to take a big iron nail, and you have to wrap around a wire around it, and then put a battery to it and put a switch it in on position. And when the current will pass through it, you just have to place some little iron nails on some pins near it. What you will observe is that these iron pieces or iron nails or iron shavings will get attracted towards this wire, towards this iron nail. So likewise you can say that it is now behaving like an electromagnet, right? So this is how the electromagnet works. Now this is how, again children, the in cranes also we tend to pull substances, right? We tend to pull materials, magnetic materials from the junk. So that also again works on the principle of electromagnetism. Now electric bell is the last topic of this class, children. So in electric bell you must have seen electric bell ringings outside your classrooms or in your schools every now and then. So how does that work? Now again that also works on the principle of a magnetic effect of electric current. Now see its different components, children. It will consist of coil of wire with an iron piece, and then an iron strip with an hammer attached to it, and then you will have a contact screw and the connecting wires, and this will be your hammer and the gong, and then you will have the batteries and the connecting wires. So what will happen, children, once you put it on put it in on position, the current will pass through the circuit through this through the circuit, through the connecting wires. And what will happen is these two coils will actually start behaving like an electromagnet, and since they are behaving like an electromagnet, they will pull up this gong towards themselves, and the gong will actually lose the this contact with the contact screw and will come towards here. Since it will move from here to here, this hammer will hit the gong and the sound will be produced. Now once it has hit the gong, the contact screw will lose its contact from here and the circuit will break off, right? So once the circuit breaks, this coil of wire will no longer be an electromagnet, and that will put this hammer back in its own position. And once it is back into its position, it will touch the contact screw, and again the circuit will get complete, and again it will the current will pass here, and it will help will act as an electromagnet. Since again it will be acting as an electromagnet, it will again pull the hammer back, and this hammer will again hit the gong, and it will lose the contact from here, and again the circuit will break. So it is actually how it works is that the circuit, once it gets completed, the hammer will hit the gong because the coils will act as an electromagnet. And when the circuit gets incomplete, when the circuit breaks, the hammer will come back to its own position, right? So this is how the bell rings again and again. Now children, this was all about this session. I hope this session was clear to you all. Now please read NCERT textbook as well. Thank you very much, children.